Well, g'day there traders and friends right around the world. It's James here on behalf of Pivot Point Trading, bringing you Wednesday's afternoon market recap. Instead of moving into the technical picture today or this afternoon, I'd rather begin with some economic and more so fundamental news coming out of the Eurozone. Today, at the ECB announcement, Mario Draghi has announced some form of quantitative easing, or at least the reform in its infancy, to the tune of 50 billion euros a month. This is going to work all the way through to December 2016. So we roughly have a 2-year period for which this quantitative easing is going to take place, and it's essentially or effectively to the tune of 1.1 trillion euros. I want to change to this next slide and show you first of all how the markets have interpreted this price data, or at least this economic and fundamental news. You can see the S&P 500, it began the trading session on Wednesday to the downside slightly. But after the announcement, you can see the pop which took place in the S&P 500, a very quick knee-jerk reaction to the upside, stemming from, of course, the major points of this announcement. Now, having a look at the currency pair, the euro versus the US dollar, once the announcement came out, you can see the price of the euro very, very quickly slide in comparison to that of its counterpart, the US dollar. It's moved from 1.16 all the way down to 1.15 in the way of the Forex market. If I change back to Trade Navigator, this is more so the daily time. On the euro, it opened up flat, but again, we're pushing lower in the direction of the downside based off this announcement coming out of the Eurozone. Now, moving back, I'll start with the S&P 500 today. You can see that the S&P is closed up just over 10 points. It's not so much of a big move, but definitely post that announcement, the market data, or at least the participants trading the market, have really reacted positively to this macro information, this very important fundamental information. Does this mean that the markets are going to start transitioning into a long-term trend? That is the question which I'm putting to you now. It doesn't really change, of course, our technical picture. We have a target at 2058 on this particular setup. I just want you to understand that this is giving us some form of a wind direction. We've set our sail to the upside. The wind is blowing from this major ECB announcement, and it's a good chance that we are going to not only hit this 2058 target, but also start to approach these higher highs on the S&P at 2097. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, again, first of all, hitting our target at 17,836 on the upside, and then breaking out above our 18,145 long-term trigger. And again on the NASDAQ, hitting our 4,755 entry, trading above ultimately 4,838 on the NASDAQ. Very interesting type of landscape, or at least the landscape picture is beginning to shift in the way or in comparison with the news coming out of the ECB again today. Very interesting. Will the US government or the Federal Reserve follow suit when it comes to monetary policy? Who knows? There's a good chance that, of course, it will. I'll keep you updated on how the markets react to such fundamental news. In the way of individual trade setups, Apple today was up slightly, up 78 cents, or it closed up 78 cents. We're still battling with this descending triangle. No major movement at the moment. Amazon today had a big shift during today's session. We have earnings coming out on the 29th. I'd be very surprised if anyone placed that 303 or had that open in their trading account. A lot of volatility coming into the price of Amazon. I'll keep you up to date with movements in this particular stock, but I'm still paying attention to this large descending triangle which has been in effect since November 2013. Let me just change to the line chart and show you what I'm looking at just here. Very big descending triangle. Earnings is going to kickstart this move. Will we break out and trend macroly bullish, or are we going to break down and start setting up that $130 move to the downside? Pay attention. I'll keep you updated with that Amazon trade. Baba today had a very nice move, up $3.12. It looks as if we're trying to break out of this descending wedge. We didn't trigger the 95.22. That was set up moving into this week's trading session. We're still sitting on the sidelines with Baba. We're getting very close to triggering on the upside. Baidu today, we're still in the middle of this channel. We were up $7.93. Is this the move to kickstart us out of this funky sideways moving pattern? A lot of discussion over the weekend in the pro class. Is this a head and shoulders? We had the 210.96 entry set up. At the moment, it looks as if Baidu is trying to push higher. I'll keep you up to date with that individual stock. Again, look at this descending wedge trying to form. Caterpillar up $1.33. Nice bullish engulfing candlestick on the daily. Earnings is coming up. It is coming out next week on the 27th. So we're almost pushing the time in the way of a bullish trade setup on Caterpillar, given that, of course, it is set to announce its earnings. FAS today, up 64 cents, no real net movement. You can see my reluctance to place a trade on this over the weekend. You can see exactly why that is. We've moved sideways, but at the same time, it's giving us some very nice structure moving forward. Facebook today is still continuing some form of a bear flag. Today it hit our 76.61 stop from our original sell short entry. Unfortunate, but that was the case with this Facebook trade. This has come down to a losing trade for 2015. Unfortunate, but true. It's okay. We'll move on from this particular trade. It's not going to define us for the year 2015. Earnings is set to come out also on the 28th, I believe. Yes, it is the 28th, so please pay attention to that earnings date. I don't have a great trade set up on Facebook at the current juncture. Who knows, it may shift if we get, of course, at the beginning of a breakdown in this bear flag as at Thursday's trading session. Google today popped up $10.86. Now I really like to bring up, this 496 entry. I am going to move that up this weekend in the pro analysis class. We're moving into this Fibonacci retracement box. We've got the 50. We're trying to break above the 20 and the 10 declining exponential moving averages. The perfect opportunity to short Google if it decides to roll over before its earnings next week. Google today was up, GoPro today was up $2.76. A little bit of what could be again a bear flag. No great bullish trade setup on this stock at the moment. Let this fizzle out at this pivot point. I'll keep you updated, of course, over the weekend on this particular trade. Halliburton, very, very close to triggering. You know my entries as per that pro analysis class on Halliburton. Now, Netflix today had a very interesting price day, didn't it? Earnings has come out. It's gapped up more or less $70 originally, but during today's candlestick or trading session, we traded down intraday. We're left with some form of a hangman. Very interesting type of trade setup. What we can essentially do is trade the break of the high of this candle. So 415.21 is a really good entry to get involved in call contracts if, of course, the sentiment and the current price projection or trajectory wants to continue. First target 424 on the upside. Very nice $9 move to the upside. But then we're looking at highs as high as about 435. That's really the target, which I'll be looking at just over here. 440 to be specific. So a very nice trade setup on Netflix. Tesla again tried to flinch below that 184.80 entry. We've seen today a nice bullish engulfing candle based, of course, on what the markets are doing. I'm going to give you an update over the weekend on that Tesla trade. Sit tight in the meantime. And of course, today, over the weekend, we were saying, look, we need more time on Twitter. For the past 2 days at least, it's done absolutely nothing. You can see right here we've had a doji candlestick followed by another spinning top on Wednesday's trading session. No real change in the technical picture. There is a trade coming to us. It will be ready at the weekend, so please pay attention. I'll keep you updated over the weekend. Thanks a lot for watching this analysis video. Again, some major shifts taking place fundamentally, at least, and economically stemming out of the ECB or the Eurozone. Watch the currency pair, the US dollar versus, of course, the euro. That's very, very important relationship, and of course what the markets are going to do as we finish out this week's trading week in January 2015. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of the evening. I'll see you all Thursday afternoon for another market recap. Goodbye.